he left me with.
The envelope sat on the kitchen counter. Plain white. Official. Tyler Mitchell stared at it for a full minute before his hands moved. Inside, a court petition. His wife was suing him. Not for divorce. Ashley was too religious for that. No, she wanted something called legal separation. A year of living apart. Separate finances. Separate lives. All because, she claimed, he cared more about the gym than her. Tyler looked at his reflection in the kitchen window. 41 years old. 220 pounds of muscle. Owner of a fitness center in Charlotte, North Carolina. He'd built everything for her. The house, the business, the future. And she was walking away. I'm glad you're here. Hit that like button and subscribe, because what I'm about to tell you will change how you think about marriage, about trust, about the lies we tell ourselves when we love someone. My husband wasn't who I thought he was. None of us knew. And what I discovered in that courtroom was stranger than any affair. But that wasn't even the worst part. The worst part was what I found 3 weeks before filing. Late on a Saturday night, doing laundry, Tyler's jeans from work. I reached into the pocket for tissues. My fingers touched fabric. Lace, women's underwear, thong, red, size small. Not mine. I stood in the laundry room, holding that scrap of red lace, my mind spinning through every possibility, every explanation, every worst-case scenario. I confronted him. He stammered something about the gym's lost and found. Clients leave things. It meant nothing. But there was lipstick on his collar the week before. Perfume I didn't recognize. Late nights that stretched past midnight. The gym closed at 10. My friend Diana had been clear. Girl, he's cheating. That trainer, Emma something. The swimmer. Everyone sees how they look at each other. So I did what any woman with dignity would do. I hired a lawyer, filed a petition, moved in with Diana, and I waited for Tyler to explain, to fight for me, to prove Diana wrong. He didn't. He just kept going to that gym, training that girl, coming home after midnight smelling like chlorine and something I couldn't identify. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me tell you how we got here. How a marriage goes from I do to I'm done in 12 years. My name is Ashley Patterson. Well, Ashley Mitchell now, though maybe not for long. I'm 39 years old. I work for Mecklenburg County Family Services in Charlotte, North Carolina. Salary, $46,000 a year. Not rich, but stable. I met Tyler in December 2008. I was 25. He was 27. The meeting happened at LA Fitness on Independence Boulevard. I had joined for the New Year's resolution crowd. Treadmill 3 times a week. Maybe lose 15 pounds. Tyler worked there as a personal trainer. Broad shoulders, easy smile. The kind of confidence that comes from knowing exactly what your body can do. He'd offered me a free consultation. Your form's off, he'd said, not unkindly. You're gonna hurt your knees running like that. I'd been annoyed, then impressed. Then, 3 weeks later, agreeing to dinner. Tyler was different from the guys I usually dated. He didn't have a college degree, went straight to work after high school, got certified as a trainer, built a client base. But he was ambitious, driven. He talked about opening his own gym someday. A place that felt like family, not a corporate fitness factory. I want to build something, he'd told me over Thai food on our 4th date. Something that's mine. Ours, maybe, if you stick around. That was the Tyler I fell in love with. The one with dreams. The one who picked me up after work, even though he had a 6 a.m. client the next morning. The one who remembered I hate cilantro, and always ordered my pad thai without it. We got married December 23rd, 2009. Small ceremony at First Baptist Church on 7th Street. 75 guests. Diana was my maid of honor. Tyler's brother Jason was best man. The first year it was good, really good. They rented a 2-bedroom apartment in University City. $1,100 a month. I handled the bills. I was better with money. Tyler contributed his half, always on time. Never complained about the tight budget. Sundays were ours. Church in the morning, brunch after, then lazy afternoons watching football or walking through Freedom Park. Tyler would hold my hand the entire walk, sometimes for no reason at all. Intimacy wasn't a problem. 3, 4 times a week. Sometimes more. Tyler was attentive, patient, the kind of lover who paid attention to what worked and what didn't. We were happy, or I thought we were. The change started in early 2011. Tyler's boss at LA Fitness, a guy named Marcus who owned 3 locations, offered Tyler a partnership deal. 20% equity in a new gym they'd opened together in the Noda district. North Davidson Street, trendy area, young professionals, good demographics. The catch. Tyler needed $85,000 up front, his share of build-out costs. I need to explain something. I grew up in a single-wide trailer in Gastonia. My dad left when I was 6. Mom worked 2 jobs, Waffle House mornings, gas station nights. We had nothing. When Marcus offered me that partnership, I saw everything I'd ever wanted. A real business. My name on something. A future where Ashley wouldn't have to worry about money, where we could have kids and give them what I never had. I went to First National Bank, applied for a business loan. They approved me for $85,000 at 9.5% interest. 15-year term. Monthly payments, $887. I signed the papers without telling Ashley. That decision, that one moment of pride, of not wanting to burden Ashley with the stress, would crack the foundation of our marriage. The gym opened in May 2011. Apex Fitness and Performance. Blue and chrome logo. 2,500 square feet. Free weights, cardio equipment, a small pool for aquatics training. Tyler was there 7 days a week. 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., sometimes later. I understood at first. New business, long hours, it made sense. I'd worked extra shifts when we needed money before. But months passed. Tyler's hours didn't improve. They got worse. I started eating dinner alone. Every night. I'd text him around 6. When will you be home? Later, babe. Gym's packed tonight. How much later? Not sure. Don't wait up. Sometimes he'd walk in at midnight. Sometimes 1 a.m. shower immediately. Always a shower before even saying hello. Then collapse into bed. Asleep in minutes. Weekends were worse. That's when the special training sessions happened. Private clients who could only come Saturdays and Sundays. High paying, he said. We needed the money for the loan payments. I tried to be supportive. I really did. But 3 months in, I realized something. I was married, but I was alone. You probably think you know where this is going. Cheating husband, angry wife, messy divorce. But what I discovered was so much stranger than an affair. Stay with me. The first real fight happened on our 2nd anniversary. December 23rd, 2011. I had made reservations at the Capitol Grill. 7 p.m. I bought a new dress, emerald green, $120 from Nordstrom Rack, more than I usually spent. I'd planned to tell Tyler something important that night. I was ready to try for a baby. Tyler texted at 6:47 p.m. Babe, I'm so sorry. Client emergency. Guy hurt his back. I have to stay and help. Rain check. I sat in that emerald dress, alone in our apartment, mascara running, until 10:30 p.m. When Tyler got home, smelling like chlorine and sweat, I didn't yell. That would come later. Instead, I asked quietly, "Do you even love me anymore?" That question hit me like a punch to the gut. Of course I loved her. Everything I was doing was for her. The long hours, the weekend sessions, the exhaustion, it was all to build something. To pay down the loan faster, to prove I could provide. But I couldn't explain. Not really. Because there was something I hadn't told her. The gym wasn't making money. Not like Marcus promised. We were $65,000 in the red. Behind on rent. Behind on equipment leases. Our landlord was threatening eviction unless we paid $8,000 in back rent immediately. The loan payment was due every month like clockwork, and our accounts were bleeding. I'd taken a second job to cover the gap, and I couldn't tell Ashley because she'd make me quit. Make me sell my share to Marcus. Make me give up on the only dream I'd ever had. What Ashley didn't know. Tyler was working 4 nights a week at the Warehouse, a nightclub in South End. Thursday through Sunday, 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. He told her he was at the gym. Late client sessions. He wasn't lying, exactly. The Warehouse had hired him as part of their entertainment. They called it fitness performance art. Competitive bodybuilding demonstrations, they said in the job posting. Tyler and his brother Jason, along with their friend Marcus from the gym, had formed a trio. They'd lift, pose, demonstrate training techniques for the club's upscale clientele. The pay was $350 a night, cash, plus tips, usually another $75 to $100. It was perfect. Until it wasn't. By early 2012, Ashley and Tyler had stopped having sex. Not suddenly. It eroded slowly, like rust on metal. Once a week became twice a month, became I'm too tired, became separate sides of the bed, became nothing at all. 2 months. 63 days. I counted. I tried. Lingerie from Victoria's Secret. A romantic dinner I cooked myself. Reaching for him in the dark. Tyler always had a reason. Exhausted from training. Sore from lifting. Early client tomorrow. His body was his business. He had to preserve it. I stopped trying. You have to understand what that does to a woman. When your husband won't touch you. When he looks at his phone more than he looks at you. When he spends more time with his gym clients than with his wife. I started wondering what was wrong with me. Was I not attractive anymore? Had I gained weight? Was it something I said? Diana told me the truth one night over wine at her apartment. "Jen, honey, he's cheating." I had denied it. Tyler wasn't that kind of man. He was loyal, faithful, devoted. Then explained the swimmer girl, Diana said. Emma Parkerson, 20 years old. Trains with Tyler 6 days a week. I've seen them together at the gym. The way she looks at him. Girl, that's not just about fitness. I went to Apex Fitness the next day. Unannounced. 2 p.m., middle of Tyler's afternoon session block. The pool area was visible through glass doors. And there they were. Tyler and Emma, in the shallow end. He had his hands on her waist, adjusting her position for a kick technique. She was laughing, touching his shoulder, closer than necessary. I watched for 3 minutes, felt something break inside my chest, left without saying a word. That night, I searched Tyler's car. In the center console, a receipt from Embassy Suites. $187. 2 nights ago. Charlotte, Ayersley location. Tyler had told me he was training a client in Rock Hill that evening. Wouldn't be home until late. Rock Hill was south. The Embassy Suites was west. I confronted him when he got home. Threw the receipt at him. Who were you with? He barely looked at it. Business meeting. Marcus and I met with a potential investor. Had a hotel. He was staying there. From out of town. What's his name? Tyler hesitated, just for a second. But I saw it. Why are you interrogating me, Ash? You don't trust me now. That's when I found my voice, my anger. You don't come home. You don't touch me. You smell like perfume I don't wear. There's women's underwear in your laundry. And now, secret hotel receipts. So no, Tyler. I don't trust you. Tyler didn't defend himself that night. He left. Grabbed his keys, walked out, didn't come back until 4 a.m. I lay awake the entire time, staring at the ceiling, making decisions. The next morning, I called Buchanan and Associates, a family law firm on Tryon Street. Spoke to an attorney named Rebecca Thornton. Explained the situation. I don't want a divorce, I said. My faith doesn't allow it. But I can't live like this. Rebecca explained North Carolina's legal separation process. File a petition. Live apart for 1 year. Finances separate. At the end, you can reconcile or divorce. It's a wake-up call, Rebecca said. Sometimes it saves marriages. Sometimes it just delays the inevitable. I filed the petition on January 10th, 2023. Tyler was served with the papers on January 18th. He had 30 days to respond. He hired an attorney, Elena Babick, and filed a counter-petition opposing the separation. He wanted to preserve the marriage. We tried mediation on February 28th. Sat in a conference room for 3 hours while a mediator tried to get us to compromise. It didn't work. So we ended up in court, March 15th, 2023. 65 days after I filed. 2 months of lawyers, paperwork, and silence between us. I moved out while Tyler was at the gym. Packed 3 suitcases, took my clothes, my books, my grandmother's china. Left a note on the kitchen counter with the court papers. I love you, but I can't do this anymore. The court date is March 15th. Bring a lawyer. I came home to an empty house. Well, not empty. All my stuff was there. But all of her was gone. The closet, half empty. The bathroom, no makeup, no hair products. The kitchen, her coffee mug missing. I stood in that house for an hour, just standing there, trying to understand how we got here. Then I got angry. She didn't even try to talk to me. Just packed up and left. Served me with legal papers like I'm some kind of criminal. I called Jason. My brother knew about the nightclub job. He worked there too. He came over, brought beer, let me vent. You gotta tell her the truth, man, Jason said. I can't. Why not? Because she'll make me quit. And if I quit, we lose the gym. We lose everything. Jason looked at me like I was an idiot. Bro, you already lost her. March 15th, 2023. Mecklenburg County Courthouse, 4th floor, Family Court Division. Judge Patricia Morrison presiding. 62 years old, silver hair, no-nonsense reputation. She'd been hearing family cases for 20 years. She'd seen everything. I sat at the plaintiff's table with Rebecca Thornton. Navy suit, hair pulled back, hands folded. Calm. Too calm. Tyler sat across the aisle with his attorney, Elena Babick. 45, sharp, expensive. Tyler had paid her a $5,000 retainer with money he didn't have. Judge Morrison reviewed the petition. Mrs. Mitchell, you're requesting legal separation for a period of 12 months. You cite, she looked up over her reading glasses, irreconcilable differences due to respondent's neglect and suspected infidelity. Is that correct? Yes, Your Honor. And you're not seeking divorce due to religious beliefs? That's correct. The judge turned to Tyler. Mr. Mitchell, you filed a counter-petition opposing separation. You want to preserve the marriage, correct? Yes, ma'am. Then let's hear what happened. Rebecca stood. Your Honor, my client is a 39-year-old county employee who married the respondent believing he was a faithful, devoted husband. Over the past 2 years, Mr. Mitchell has systematically withdrawn from the marriage. No physical intimacy for over 60 days. Absent from the home 6 to 7 nights per week. Evidence suggests he's conducting an affair with a 20-year-old client at his gym. Alina objected immediately. Speculation, Your Honor. There's no proof of infidelity. I'll allow testimony, Judge Morrison said. But stick to facts, Miss Thornton. Rebecca called me to the stand. The courtroom felt enormous. Cold. Those fluorescent lights make everything look sick. Rebecca asked me about the underwear. I had brought it, sealed in a plastic evidence bag, like something from CSI. Red lace thong. Size small. Not mine. Where did you find this? In my husband's jeans pocket. March 1st. Saturday night. He told me he was working late at the gym. And this isn't yours. I'm a size medium. That's a small, and I don't own anything like that. I could feel Tyler staring at me from across the room. I didn't look at him. Rebecca showed me the hotel receipt. Can you identify this? Embassy Suites, Charlotte Airsley, February 27th. Tyler told me he was in Rock Hill that night, training a client. Did you ask him about this receipt? Yes, he said it was a business meeting, but he couldn't remember the investor's name when I asked. Then Rebecca asked me something I wasn't expecting. Mrs. Mitchell, can you tell the court what you sacrificed for this marriage? I took a breath. This was the part I'd been dreading. Not because it was hard to say, but because once I said it out loud, I couldn't take it back. Your Honor, I need you to understand what I gave to this marriage. For 12 years, I supported Tyler's dream. When the gym wasn't making money, I worked overtime every single week to cover our bills. 50, sometimes 60 hours at the county, taking every extra shift they'd give me. I gave up my weekends to help him build that gym. I painted the walls myself. Kelly green, his favorite color. I designed the logo. I spent 3 months teaching myself graphic design software so we wouldn't have to pay someone. I built his website. I managed his social media. I answered client calls at 10 p.m. because Tyler was too tired. I believed in his dream. I sacrificed my time, my energy, my plans for children, all for a business he wouldn't even make me a partner in. A business I built with my own 2 hands, and he never once asked if I wanted my name on it. My voice cracked, but I kept going. I gave him everything, and he gave me late nights, empty beds, and lies. The courtroom was silent. Elena cross-examined carefully. Mrs. Mitchell, did you ever actually see your husband with another woman in a romantic context? I saw him with Emma Parkerson at the gym pool. His hands were on her waist. He's a swim coach. That's how you teach swimming. It looked like more than teaching. But you don't know it was more. You're speculating based on suspicion, not evidence. My composure cracked slightly. A wife knows. A wife suspects, Elena corrected. There's a difference. Judge Morrison intervened. Let's hear from Mr. Mitchell. Take the stand, sir. I swore on the Bible to tell the truth. My hands were shaking. My attorney asked me about the marriage. I told her what I've been saying all along. I love Ashley. Everything I do is for her. The long hours, the hard work, all of it. Why the late nights? I own a business. New businesses require long hours. What about the underwear Mrs. Mitchell found? This was it. The moment I had to decide. Keep lying or tell the truth. I took a breath. Your Honor, I need to explain something. And it's embarrassing. But it's the truth. The courtroom went silent. Even the court reporter's fingers paused over her keys. I looked at Ashley for the first time since entering the courtroom. The gym isn't profitable. We're $65,000 in debt. Our landlord threatened to evict us unless we paid $8,000 in back rent immediately. I took a second job to make the loan payments. I didn't tell Ashley because I didn't want her to worry. Didn't want her to know I was failing. What kind of second job? Judge Morrison asked. My jaw clenched. Entertainment work. At the Warehouse nightclub in South End. What kind of entertainment? Fitness demonstrations, bodybuilding performances. I lift weights, show training techniques. It's educational. Elena pressed. And the women's clothing Mrs. Mitchell found. Part of the act. Sometimes I paused. We perform in costume. One of the routines involves cross-dressing. It gets laughs. Big tips. I bring home $400 a night. The courtroom erupted in whispers. Ashley's face had gone pale. You're a stripper. No, it's not stripping. We keep clothes on. It's like performance art, fitness comedy. Do you take your shirt off? I hesitated. Sometimes. Do women touch you? They're not supposed to, but sometimes they try. And Emma Parkerson, the hotel receipt. Tyler exhaled. Emma's training for national swimming qualifiers. She needs intensive coaching. That's why we train so much. The hotel receipt was from my brother Jason. He stayed there after a fight with his girlfriend. I paid for it because he was broke. I should have told you, but I knew you'd ask questions, and I didn't want to explain about the nightclub job. Judge Morrison held up a hand. Let me understand this clearly. Mr. Mitchell, you're claiming you work as a fitness entertainer at a nightclub 4 nights a week, earning substantial cash income, and you never told your wife. Yes, ma'am. Why not? Because she'd make me quit, and I need that money. The gym is my dream. I can't let it fail. The judge turned to Ashley. Did you know about any financial problems with the gym? I shook my head. I couldn't speak. My brain was trying to process everything. My husband wasn't cheating. He was a nightclub performer, dancing for women, taking his shirt off, earning money and hiding it from me. I didn't know if that was better or worse than an affair. What Tyler was about to say would change everything I thought I knew. And trust me, you won't see this coming. Judge Morrison called a 15-minute recess. Diana and I stepped into the hallway. Girl, Diana said quietly, he's not cheating. That's good news, right? I laughed. It came out bitter, sharp. Is it? He's been lying to me for 2 years, hiding money, working a second job he knew I'd hate, making me think I was crazy for being suspicious. But he did it for you, for the gym, for your future. No, my voice hardened. He did it for himself, for his pride. Because he couldn't admit the gym was failing. Because his ego was more important than our marriage. That's when I realized something. This wasn't about the nightclub job. It wasn't about Emma or the underwear or the late nights. It was about respect. Tyler had made every major decision in our marriage without consulting me. The business loan, the second job, how we spent our time and money. He treated me like a child who needed protecting, not a partner who deserved honesty. And I was done. When we returned to the courtroom, Judge Morrison asked if either party wanted to call additional witnesses. Elena called Jason Mitchell to the stand. Jason, 43, looked uncomfortable in his suit. He confirmed everything Tyler had said. The nightclub job, the financial struggles, the desperation. My brother works harder than anyone I know. Jason testified. 3 jobs, 18-hour days. He's not a cheater. He's not a liar. He's just a guy trying to make something of himself. But then, Rebecca asked a question that changed everything. Mr. Mitchell, did you ever tell Ashley about your brother's financial problems? Jason hesitated. No, ma'am. Why not? Because Tyler asked me not to. He didn't want her to worry. So you both lied to her for 2 years about money, about jobs, about where Tyler was spending his nights. Jason's face fell. We thought we were protecting her. You thought you were protecting yourselves, Rebecca said. That's when I realized it wasn't just Tyler. It was his whole family. Jason knew. Marcus probably knew. They'd all decided I couldn't handle the truth. They'd all conspired to keep me in the dark. I wasn't married to one liar. I was surrounded by them. But there was more. During the next recess, Rebecca pulled me aside with new documents. I subpoenaed Tyler's bank records. There's something he didn't mention. The records showed transfers totaling $47,000 over 18 months. Not $65,000 in gym debt. $47,000 that Tyler had personally paid out. And worse, $12,000 of that went to Jason. Loans that were never repaid. Tyler wasn't just saving the gym. He was supporting his brother. With money we didn't have. Without telling me. My hands shook as I read those statements. Every transfer. Every lie. Every decision made without me. Rebecca called Emma Parkerson to the stand. The young woman who walked in was nothing like I expected. Athletic, yes, but quiet, nervous, clearly uncomfortable. She wore a modest dress, carried a Bible. Miss Parkerson, what is your relationship with Tyler Mitchell? He's my coach. That's all. I'm training for Olympic trials. Tyler is one of the best technique coaches in North Carolina. There's nothing romantic between us. I'm engaged. She held up her left hand, showing a modest diamond ring. My fiancé knows about my training schedule. He trusts Tyler. Have you ever been alone with Mr. Mitchell outside the gym? No, ma'am. Only at the pool during training hours. The gym has security cameras. You can check. Rebecca looked disappointed. No further questions. Judge Morrison reviewed her notes. The courtroom felt heavy with anticipation. I want to hear from both of you one more time. Not through lawyers. Just you two. Mrs. Mitchell, do you still want this separation? I stood slowly. I looked at Tyler. Really looked at him. Saw the exhaustion in his face. The way his shoulders slumped. The muscle definition that came from working out instead of sleeping. Your Honor, I believe my husband when he says he wasn't cheating. I believe he took that awful job because he thought he had no choice. I believe he loves me in his way. Tyler's face lifted with hope. But I also believe he doesn't respect me. He made financial decisions that affect both of us without including me. He lied to me for 2 years. He let his brother lie to me. He let me think I was going crazy, that I was paranoid, that something was wrong with me, when the whole time he was just hiding his pride. And worse, he was hiding where our money was really going. My voice cracked, but I kept going. I worked overtime for 2 years thinking we were broke because of the gym. But we were broke because Tyler was supporting his brother. Paying his bills, keeping secrets, making me feel like I was the problem when really, I was just the only one in the dark. I don't know if I want a divorce, but I know I can't live like this. I need time. I need space. I need him to understand that marriage is a partnership, not a dictatorship where he makes all the decisions and I just exist in his shadow. Judge Morrison turned to Tyler. Mr. Mitchell. I stood. My voice was rough. I screwed up. I know I did. I thought providing was the same as loving. I thought keeping her protected from stress was the same as respecting her. I thought being a provider meant being a protector. But protection without honesty is just control. I was wrong. I looked directly at Ashley. I don't want a separation. But if that's what it takes for you to see that I can change, that I can be the husband you need, then okay. I'll do the year. I'll prove it. Judge Morrison nodded slowly. I've been on this bench for 20 years. I've heard every version of marital problems you can imagine. Infidelity, abuse, addiction, financial betrayal. She looked at both Tyler and me. This case is unusual. Not because of what Mr. Mitchell did. Taking a second job to cover debts is admirable, even if the job itself is unconventional. But because of why this marriage is failing. The judge leaned forward. Mr. Mitchell, you will attend 6 months of financial counseling. You will provide full financial disclosure to your wife. Every account, every debt, every source of income, including any money given to family members. You will also attend marriage counseling weekly if Mrs. Mitchell agrees to participate. Yes, Your Honor. Mrs. Mitchell, you will maintain separate residence. No cohabitation. Finances separate. But I encourage you to attend the counseling sessions. Use this year wisely. Decide if this man, flawed as he is worth fighting for. Judge Morrison signed the order. Separation granted. 12 months. Court date set for March 15, 2024, to review status. Dismissed. The whole process cost me $4,200. Rebecca's retainer was $2,500. Court filing fee, $225. Process server to deliver papers to Tyler, $75. The rest went to consultation fees and document preparation. Tyler paid more, $5,000 to Elena, plus another $1,200 when the case went to trial. That's $6,200 total. That's over $10,000 we spent fighting each other. Money that could have saved the gym if we'd been honest from the start. In the hallway outside the courtroom, Diana hugged me tightly. You did it. You got what you wanted. I didn't feel victorious. I felt hollow. Tyler stood 50 feet away, talking quietly with his brother. His shoulders were slumped. Defeated. Elena Babbage approached me. My client wants to talk to you. Would you be willing? Rebecca started to object, but I held up a hand. It's okay. 5 minutes. We met in an empty conference room down the hall. Just the two of us. I didn't know what to say. Everything I'd planned, the apologies, the promises, felt inadequate. I'm sorry didn't cover it. I love you wasn't enough. So I told her the truth. I grew up poor, Ash. Trailer park poor. Food stamp poor. I swore I'd never let my family live like that. When the gym started failing, I panicked. I couldn't admit it. Couldn't let you see me fail. She listened without interrupting. The nightclub job, I hated it. Every minute. But it paid the bills. Kept us afloat. And yes, I helped Jason. He's my brother. He was about to lose his apartment. I told myself I was protecting you. But really? I was protecting my ego. I took a breath. I don't know if you'll ever trust me again, but I'm asking for the chance to try. Not today, not tomorrow, but over this year. Let me show you I can be honest, that I can be a real partner. I looked at him. This man I'd married 12 years ago. This man I'd loved so completely. I need you to understand something, Tyler. Marriage isn't about one person sacrificing everything while the other person waits at home. It's about two people making decisions together, struggling together, succeeding together. I know. You don't. Not yet. But maybe this year apart will teach you. I stood to leave. Ashley. His voice was soft. Do you still love me? I paused at the door. Ask me again in a year. I had moved into a one-bedroom apartment in Dilworth. Small. $1,250 a month. But it was mine. I decorated it carefully. Plants on the windowsill. My grandmother's china displayed in a cabinet I'd bought at an estate sale. Photos on the wall. My family, Diana. Even one from the wedding. Tyler smiling in his tux. I hadn't taken it down. The separation had been hard at first. Lonely nights. Silence that felt suffocating. But slowly, I had started to rediscover myself. The woman I'd been before Tyler. The woman who loved reading mystery novels and trying new restaurants and taking weekend trips to Asheville. Tyler had kept his promises. Sort of. He'd attended every financial counseling session. Provided full disclosure. I now knew about the $65,000 gym debt, the loan payments, the nightclub income, which he'd quit 2 months into the separation, and the $12,000 he'd given Jason. The marriage counseling was harder. Tyler struggled to articulate his feelings. I struggled to forgive. But we kept showing up. Every Thursday evening, 6 p.m., Dr. Patricia Huang's office on Providence Road. Last Thursday, Dr. Huang asked us both a question. If you could go back to the moment before Tyler took that nightclub job, what would you do differently? I thought about it for a long time. I would have asked more questions, paid more attention, made it clear that I wanted to be his partner in everything, not just the good parts. Tyler's answer surprised me. I would have told the truth, asked for help, admitted I was failing, because the gym wasn't worth losing Ash. That was the first time I cried in one of those sessions. Not sad tears, something else. Hope, maybe. The gym, against all odds, was turning around. Tyler had brought in a business consultant, cut unnecessary expenses, renegotiated the equipment leases, raised membership prices slightly, started offering specialized classes, senior fitness, post-rehab training, teen athletics. Apex Fitness wasn't making huge profits, but it was sustainable, breaking even, building slowly. Tyler had moved back in with his brother Jason, paid $400 a month rent, drove a 12-year-old Honda Civic, lived simply. Every dollar he saved went into an account he'd opened in both our names. For us, he'd told me, when you're ready. We saw each other once a week outside of counseling. Coffee on Saturday mornings at Amelie's French Bakery. Neutral territory. An hour of conversation about work, family, life. We didn't talk about the future. Not yet. But last Saturday, Tyler had brought me something. A keychain. Simple silver ring with 2 keys. What's this? Jim Keys. You're listed as co-owner now. Equal partner. 50-50, if you want it. I had stared at those keys for a full minute. I thought the gym was yours. It is. But it should have been ours from the beginning. I'm fixing that. If you'll let me. I'd taken the keys, put them in my purse. Didn't say yes. Didn't say no. But I didn't say no. I'm sharing this story because I know some of you are living it right now. Maybe not the exact details. Your husband probably isn't a secret nightclub performer, but the core problem is the same. Someone you love made decisions without you, hid things from you, let you feel crazy instead of admitting the truth. Here's what I learned. Love isn't enough. Respect matters more. You can love someone with everything you have and still need to walk away if they won't treat you as an equal partner. The separation was the hardest thing I've ever done. Harder than I expected. There were nights I almost called Tyler, almost said forget it, come home. But I needed him to understand that I'm not a child to be protected. I'm a woman, his wife, his equal, and I needed to remember that too. To remember I'm strong enough to be alone if I have to be. The 1-year mark was approaching. March 15th, 2024. Another court date. Another decision. I didn't know what I'd say. Some days I imagined reconciliation, moving back in together, starting fresh. Maybe even having that baby we'd once talked about. Other days I imagined signing divorce papers, moving on, finding someone who'd respect me from day one. Both futures were possible. Both were terrifying. Dr. Huang had told us something in our last session. Separation doesn't save marriages. People save marriages. You two will decide if this relationship is worth the work required. No one else can tell you the answer. So I'm taking it day by day. Coffee on Saturdays, counseling on Thursdays, building something new from the wreckage of what we had. I don't know if Tyler and I will make it. I don't know if we should. But I know this. I'm not the same woman who filed those papers a year ago. I'm stronger, clearer, more certain of what I need and what I won't accept. And maybe that's what this year was really about. If you're going through something similar, if you're married but lonely, loved but disrespected, together but alone, I want you to know something. You're not crazy. You're not demanding. You're not wrong for wanting more. Marriage should make you feel seen, heard, valued. If it doesn't, that's not love. That's just companionship. And you deserve better. I don't know how my story ends. The court date is in 3 months. I'll let you know if you want. Drop a comment if you'd like an update. But whatever happens, I'm going to be okay. Because I finally learned the most important lesson. I don't need Tyler to be whole. I'm whole on my own. And if we rebuild our marriage, it'll be because we choose to, not because we have to. What would you have done? Comment below. Your story might help someone else. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear it.